This pandemic has hit us hard, but Tennesseans don't stay down for long. We're known for our resilience, and we refuse to back down from a challenge. This challenge is no different. You might be out of work, but there's an opportunity waiting for you. We need you to roll up your sleeves and join our workforce. Right now, thousands of jobs are ready to be filled. Find them at jobsfortn.gov. Let's get to work, Tennessee.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
We Tennesseans all have a choice to make in our fight against COVID-19.
I choose to enjoy live music.
I choose to cheer on my team.
I choose to go out.
I choose to stay healthy.
I choose to celebrate with my family.
The choice is simple. Choose to live your life and choose to live responsibly. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
It's not about challenging times
or new normals.
It's about staying true to what matters most.
And we're more committed than ever to your health.
Your safety has always been our top priority.
Times may have changed,
but they haven't changed who we are.
We're here for you every single day.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour. It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
Can't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay?
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
And good morning again, and welcome to Talk Back Live in the morning. It is now 10:42, 42 minutes past the hour, 10 o'clock Central Time, and a very pleasant good morning to you on a Monday morning. Yes, a lovely, wonderful Monday morning, and starting your day off at 88 degrees. That's right, already 88 degrees under a mostly clear sky. A beautiful day to start your day. And the heat index, it's 88, but the heat index makes it feel like it's 92 already. Well, I tell you what, we have a great show lined up for you today. Hot topics of discussion, news that you could use, local, national, international. And the number to call is 901-213-6020. Again, the number to call is 901-213-6020, and you'll be able to talk with us. And also, we're on Facebook Live. Right now, you can watch us there, listen to us there, or whichever way you choose. And also, you can listen to us you can see us on YouTube. Also, you can hear us on the Spreaker app. And hear us there. That's the Spreaker app, the free download on all your mobile devices, your Androids, whatever, iPhone, laptop, computers, or whatever.
Yes, sir.
And you could, and once you go to that Spreaker app, then you search Talkback Live. One word, Talkback Live. And they can hear us and listen to us on Twitter as well. All right, we have a great show lined up for you, and you can leave your comments on Facebook Live if you wish, and we'll be able to read your comments there. Good morning, Josh.
Yes, sir. And took some of my script there with the social media, but nonetheless, y'all got the information that you need there. But also, when you comment, it's not just, I'll put it that way, not just Facebook, but also all the other platforms as well. You can leave a comment, Twitter, YouTube. It's in addition to Facebook, where we get most of our comments as well. Yeah. So any of y'all watching on any of the platforms, you can leave a comment. Even on Spreaker, where you're listening, you can comment there as well. Also,
YouTube, and the other one is...
I actually just said that. But yeah, YouTube and Twitter.
And Twitter. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all of that. And real quick, all of y'all that are watching right now, go ahead, as I say each and every show, hit that like button, hit the share button. You can do all that. As of right now, if you're watching, that is a very important thing to do to support what we got going on here. Also, to let other people join in on the conversations that you're in each and every time we go live. So if you're there right now, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the love button, whatever you want to do, and also hit the share button as well, and let folks know what we got going on here on Talkback Live Network. And Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. So a lot of stuff got to talk about on today.
Oh, yeah.
As y'all see already in the title of the video and everything else. Some very interesting topics from some different perspectives, man. So can't wait to get into it. So without any further ado, we should be able to get it on.
All right. And let's get it on. And folks, be careful on the roadways, and be careful as a lot of you can't make it across the bridge, the I-40 bridge, but the I-55 bridge, a lot of things are going on, so be careful as you make your way around town. Let's get it on. And in the headlines today, we've got well, as usual, another busy weekend in the country. Well, another busy weekend in the state of Tennessee, and especially another busy weekend in the city of Memphis. Well, you know too often how things go around and things go on in our city. You just can't just wake up one Monday morning and say nothing happened in Memphis, Shelby County. It's just an ongoing thing. Well, we've got some things to talk about and violence as well. Let's talk about it. Josh, we've got a topic that we're going to talk about today, and it's being talked about all over the city. The news media, it's been talked about privately. People are sharing with each other by phone, by letter, or whatever the case may be. Over the internet, everybody's talking about, and some people even said they're fed up with it. And that's violence, gun violence in our city. What's going on with this?
Well, yeah. So as we know, if you're from Memphis, around Memphis, or anything like that, I mean, we all know what's been going on around here for the past several years, seemingly getting worse by the year when it comes to the homicide rate and things of that nature. Y'all know we've talked about that for years, even on the show, you know, as far as solutions and the problem and things of that nature. But it continues to be a thing because it keeps on happening. So as of right now, the reason this is being brought up because there's a particular law that the state of Tennessee and Bill Lee and the Tennessee House of Representatives has passed, and it's going to go into effect in 3 weeks. That is really gonna, and Leon Mapstone already hit it, is going to probably make things worse. I guess it depends on your perspective, but we're gonna get into that. And it has a lot of people around this area worried because if you look at Memphis, it's already been bad. You know what I mean? When it comes to violence and crime and gun violence, things of that nature. With or without that law, it's been bad. But now with this, you have the concern that things could get worse. Now, if you don't know about the law, I'm going to let the video explain to you what it is, and then we'll get into it a little more afterwards and continue the conversation.
All right. Let's take a look at this, take a listen as well. Those of you that are listening, and give us your opinion on this and leave us a comment. And we'll be back after this. Take a listen.
And public safety of those in our city. WREG's Kwame Wilborn shows us how Memphians are now reacting.
It's just a matter of who is getting access to these weapons, and will that actually cause a spike in the crime rate?
On July 1st, Tennesseans aged 21 and over and military members over the age of 18 will be allowed to carry open or concealed handguns without a permit. The bill has been at the center of debate among public officials for months, leading up to Governor Bill Lee signing it back in April. Law enforcement agencies, including the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, have all opposed the law. The Memphis City Council even approved a resolution opposing the bill, saying it would endanger the health, welfare, and public safety of those in the city of Memphis. Just in the first quarter in 2021, there was a 30% increase in gun crimes compared to 2020, according to the Memphis Shelby Crime Commission. Several people we spoke to say they fear this law will make things worse.
I feel like the violence in Memphis is already terrible, and it's only going to make everything worse. It's going to have a lot of people in fear of just leaving their homes.
Knowing that everyone has access, it does make me really reconsider, like, okay, what areas do I need to be in, or is this going to be a problem in long term?
Governor Lee has argued that allowing more law-abiding citizens to carry guns would make Tennessee safer, and some people we spoke to agree.
Who wants a gun and is letting a permit stop them from getting one? If you want a gun to commit violent acts, you're either, you're going to get a gun.
You always want to be able to protect yourself, and hope to God you never have to.
Jason Gray lives in Mississippi, but works in Memphis. He says his son is a law enforcement officer in Shelby County, and they both support the law.
You can take the guns away from the good guys, but you can't take the guns away from the bad guys. They're going to get their guns, and they're going to commit their crimes.
Kwame Wilborn, WREG, News Channel 3.
Now, this legislation would also increase criminal penalties, including a Class E felony for stealing guns. And
all right, there you have it on that particular video. What do you think? Gun violence, crime in our city, is it because of guns? Or is it because of the people with the guns? So if that's the case, the people with the guns, then the new bill that is being passed by the governor says that, everybody should have a gun. Everybody should have the right to carry a gun on them. And this is what's going to take effect. Is that a wise thing? Is that a good idea for everyone to be able to carry a gun? The thing about it is you have people out there that are criminals that do not need a gun. Guess what they do? They somehow get a gun. And so therefore we have those people with guns that commit the crimes, but yet when people that, are attacked or carjacked or robbed by those people that are criminals with guns, then the people that are not criminals, they don't have anything to protect themselves. In a city like this, is it a good idea for everybody to have guns, to be able to get their hands on guns and it be legal and nobody say anything about it?
And without a permit.
And without a permit. You can carry it without a permit and nothing can be said. Would you feel comfortable? Would you feel safer with the idea of you carrying a gun? And in a city like this, do you feel safer with the idea that you could do that? I mean, you being able to carry a gun now, hey, do you think that's going to stop the criminal? The person that is carrying the gun, that's committing the crime, do you think that person now will think twice before he tries to carjack another person, knowing the fact that they may have a gun because it's legal for them to have one? So, would that stop a lot of craziness that's going on now, people carjacking people? Would it stop a lot of craziness of people robbing people, and kidnapping people because they know that the person could be armed, could have a gun themselves, and if they try anything, that they could get shot themselves trying to rob or steal from someone else? This is the thing. Some people say, hey, it'll make it safer, much safer, because people won't do it. There won't be as much crime committed because of that. 901-213-6020. What do you think?
Now, it's interesting the point you're bringing up, right? And mainly what Bob's saying there is, okay, if, the fact that that more people, more regular folks out here will have guns or be able to have guns easier because they won't have to go through the process of trying to get a permit, right?
Right.
And that's what, the governor and people like that are saying, that, hey, the process to get a gun is too complicated. It's too hard to try to pass all these tests to get a permit. And that means less people have them. So instead of doing all that, they just want to make it easy. Well, you don't even need a permit just to have one so people can protect themselves. But my thing is, I almost feel like it can have the opposite effect because now it's easier for everybody to get it. So do you really just want to hand out guns per se?
Well, I mean, they still have to go purchase their gun.
Yeah.
But they have the right to go purchase a gun without having a permit, and they can carry it on them. Is this like the Wild Wild West days? Or is it something that, hey, it's giving everybody an opportunity to defend themselves? I mean, this is the way some people feel.
Yeah.
This is giving people an opportunity and a way to defend themselves, to be able to carry a gun without a permit and nothing being said. You can walk around town with a gun on your hip and nothing being said to you about it. And you don't have to have a permit to do it. Just go buy your gun, put it on your hip, And if anybody trip, you know, you can pull it up and flip.
Yeah, that's basically it. You're
yeah,
right.
I mean, you know, that's the way you know, that's what you can do. You know, so, you know, do you think it's safe now to be able to carry a gun? Let's see. And we have another clip, Josh, that we're gonna play.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get that in just in a little bit here. But I see,
Verdell?
I see Verdell says the law is stupid, but the non-abiding citizens are gonna carry, the non-law abiding, that is, citizens are gonna carry anyway.
Okay, if they're gonna carry anyway, what makes this stupid? I don't understand, Verdell. If the law of non-law abiding citizens, you know they're going to carry a gun anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what makes it stupid about the law to have everybody that are abiding citizens to be able to carry a gun to defend themselves? I mean, is it to the point that, you know, hey, it is so much crime going on, so many people are being robbed, and this is happening, that the people in the city, wherever in Memphis, everybody needs to carry a gun to defend themselves because it is that crazy? Is it to that point? Or do we need to not let it get to that point and give people an opportunity to defend themselves before it gets to that point and more people lose their lives? There's a lot of crazy things going on, folks. People are committing crimes. People are robbing people. And there's a lot of people out here that do not have guns. They're afraid. They don't go through the process of getting a gun legally, and they're afraid. They're scared. You know, some people are afraid to leave their homes. But by them having the opportunity to carry a gun without a permit, put that gun on their hip or wherever they want to put it, you know, do you think it's going to make them feel safer to be able to know, you know, you got good law-abiding citizens in this city, and they're not going to pull the gun on a person if they're not going to go around robbing folk. These are people that work hard every day, that live a good life, and all they want to do is give these people an opportunity to be able to protect themselves and have a gun. If something comes up, they can defend themselves. You may talk about it may look like the old Wild Wild West days. Well, I tell you what, people carried guns, didn't think about just walking up on people and robbing folk, taking advantage of them. That's exactly what the criminals are doing. They're taking advantage of law-abiding citizens that they think that do not have a weapon. And that's what they're doing. And they don't go through the process of getting legal weapons themselves. They steal weapons. Stolen weapons are given to them. There's people out there that are stealing weapons and handing it off in the communities. There are probably police officers that are low down and getting weapons and taking it to the communities to give away. You know, you used to hear about police cars all the time being, you know, robbed or broken into and weapons are stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that happening all the time? I hadn't heard that in a while, though, but that used to happen quite often. Why was it that police cars were broken in quite often and the guns were taken? Do you think that's a setup? You think that's a setup? The officers,
well, I mean, that is what's happening. You don't have to ask that. I mean, I guess you can if you want people to know, but that's definitely what's been happening.
Yeah. So, do you think the gun law is a good idea? What the state is proposing, that every citizen should be able to carry a weapon on them, and that's the law.
You know what? And to me, here's the thing. Just to give my opinion on it real quick,
Okay.
and I know some more comments here.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't be any more stupid, at least in my honest opinion. I understand what they're trying to do, but it seems like there's always this thought process that, man, they're trying to take guns from us, right? Or it's a right-wing mindset that they're trying to take our guns. They're trying to take our guns. We need to make sure everybody has a gun. You know, whatever amendment it is that when you talk about the right to bear arms and things of that nature.
Right.
We can't let that be taken from us. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think there are people on the extreme side of things that want to take guns from everybody because they think the world will be a better place without guns, which I think is an extreme measure. But at the same time, I do think there's nothing wrong with making it harder for people to get them, especially people that don't need them.
Okay,
what the only way to do it?
What about the criminals? They're gonna, there's nothing hard about the criminals getting them, or if that's the case, make it hard for everybody to get them. The criminals, what about them? They it's not difficult for them to get them, and then you still have the abiding citizen out there that can't get the guns to defend themselves if they need to.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: people always say can't get it. Why can't you get it?
I mean, you have to go through the process, and everybody don't feel like going through the process, and everybody that goes through that process.
The problem.
Listen, everybody that goes through that process does not come out with their weapons, and so it's just a difficult thing to do, and people have to pay a lot of money for all of this, and so therefore making it available for them to be able to buy a gun and carry a gun without a permit, and I don't have to go through all that training and all that, which is real good. I think that people, if you get a gun, I don't have a problem with you getting a gun and having a gun, but at least find out and try to learn how to use your gun. That's the thing.
Well, that's what they were trying to do.
And keep your gun in a safe place in your home. And some people are concerned about people being able to have guns easily in their homes and on them, to carry guns around. A lot more people are going to have them in their home. Is that going to mean more danger for kids finding guns in their home?
Real quick.
And getting hurt. Yeah.
Real quick. So to your point, real quick.
Yeah.
When you talk about people, and all this stuff with the previous mandate of what you had to do to get a gun. Here it is. Here's I'm reading from the story here.
Yeah.
Effective July 1st, which is what we know.
Right.
Tennessee's controversial constitutional carry law, reading directly from the story, will remove the hours-long permit process required to carry a handgun in Tennessee, although the class is still available for residents who want it. So instead of being mandatory, it's voluntary.
Yeah.
Like if you want to take a class to learn how to better use the weapon you have, you can do so, even though it'll be an hours-long situation. To me,
it's available for them though.
That's true,
they
but
need to learn. Yeah,
I didn't. To me, that's just me. Again, I don't have a problem with that being mandatory.
Okay,
I don't, because at the same time, if you want a gun, as dangerous as a gun is, as big a responsibility as it is to have a gun, what is wrong with going through the class to learn how to use the
nothing
thing?
At all.
So what I'm saying is, you got all these folks that are basically, to me, a lot of them are being lazy, or
I wouldn't classify that as being
some
lazy.
of them. Yeah, I think so.
I think
they always think something.
I think that there are people that just don't go through the process, and everybody can't go through the process.
Why can't you? You shouldn't have a gun if you can't do it. Because all it is teaching you how to use it.
Well, it's still available for them if they want to after they get their gun. And I'd advise, if you get your gun, you want one, go and get the training and get the class.
That's what I'm saying.
Still be available. They can go and get the training and take the class if they want to.
You're right. But here's the thing. It should be required, is my thing. Okay. It was already required. Why? And y'all answer me this. And there's some more comments coming in. I'm about to read these in just a second here. Quite a few. But my thing is, why in the world would you want to get a gun and not want to take the gun class?
Yeah.
What do you don't need one if you don't want to take this isn't like you're going to this ain't like you're going to buy a bicycle or some ice cream or a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is a gun, a deadly weapon. And you say, well, I want a gun, but I don't want to do all that training. I just want the gun. That's lazy. I think that's pathetic.
I think people, when they buy a gun, I think people are going to take it serious, even though they don't have to.
We don't know that.
To have a permit to carry it. I think when they buy one, they're going to take it serious just by holding the gun, and they're going to want to take classes. Some people,
you would hope that they do.
I think most of them are going to want to take classes. Whether they learn it from a official hand permit teaching place or whatever you want to call that? Or would they find somebody they know that know how to use a weapon and teach them how to use it? There's a lot of people that know how to use weapons already. And if a person gets a gun, they don't know how. They have relatives, they have people that know how to use guns that can show them, that can teach them and train them how to use a weapon. You don't have to particularly go to a school or of learning and things like that. You can, there's people everywhere that know how to use guns. I know how to use a gun. I've used shotguns and rifles and pistols. You know, it's just, you know how to do it. You can train people how to use a gun. So, and there's a lot of other people out there that have used weapons of all types that can train their relatives and teach them how to use them. And a lot of people these days, hey, especially men and their wives that go out, men want their wives, they probably feel better with their wives be able to go out now and being able to carry a gun. And it'll keep a lot of these ignorant people, these nutcakes out there, from attacking their wives, you know, and things of that nature. So this is just, I'm not saying this is what I believe here or what I'm speaking for some of the people that, you know, that believe in carrying guns.
That's cool, but look, you attack your wives and stuff, but you don't want to take the doggone gun class. I feel like that means you might do anything. So that, to be honest with you, if you don't want to take a gun class, I want the gun, but I don't want the class. I want the driver's license. I don't have a problem. I want the driver's license, but I don't want to take the test. I don't need them to tell me I know how to drive. I know how to drive, and that's all. That's how dumb it sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, these folks are crazy, man. What's going on here? Okay, let's look at the comment here.
Look at some of the comments, and folks, if you want to call, the number is across the bottom of the screen there. If you'd like to call in and give us your opinion, 901-213-6020. Yes,
Leon Mastone said Bob is talking about the nuts out there, and you know. But
yeah,
basically, Robert Lee says, well, the reason why you may not get that weapon is because of mental health issues or something in your background criminally that prevents you from getting that weapon lately.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he's saying. But all I'm saying is,
do you think, Robert, do you really think that family members know that people that have mental problems are going to let their relatives that has a mental problem or a situation buy a gun? You know, I mean, a person, I mean, you know, I understand what you're saying, but do you think that relatives will step in here? You know, and some people would, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are crooks.
Oh yeah.
You know, going around shooting people, man, that's a mental case. I mean, naturally, so your mind tells you that's not what you're supposed to do. That's a mental disturbance, a mental case. Going around when you usually use a gun to shoot animals, you know, when you're hunting.
Yeah.
And these people using a gun to hunt people, shoot people down. That's a mental case. So,
which means they shouldn't have a gun.
You know, you got the wrong people with the guns. So don't punish the people that are not criminals and saying, no, we're not going to give you, you're going to make it hard for you to get a gun to protect yourself. But we know that the criminals out there, they get them every single day, and they're going to be able to get guns to, you know, to use against you, but we're not going to let you have the opportunity to get one. 901-213-6020. Comments. Yes, comments. Read the comments.
Yes, sir.
Coming in here.
All right. So shout out to Raymond on Spreaker leaving comments here.
Spreaker, thank you.
Yeah,
Raymond.
Who's listening on the Spreaker app? Y'all can download that for free
Mm-hmm.
and just look up Talk Back Live and you'll find us on there.
Yeah.
Raymond left several. I'm just seeing on Spreaker. He says when the criminals had those classes is when you can say the law works. He also says, and they give driver's licenses also to people who have no business driving. So I guess that's against my point.
There you go. There you go.
But they passed the test, Raymond. So maybe, hopefully I guess that they're hoping that they do what they said.
Well, out of some people driving, I don't know how in the world they passed the test. I'd be honest with you.
The driving test, yeah.
Yes, any test. It makes it seem like somebody gave them some, answers. But anyway.
Justin Wagner out of Michigan, he says, but even if people have permits to carry, you don't know if they're using their guns for protection or crimes. So that's what he's saying. That's kind of what I'm saying.
What did he say again now?
He said, even if they have permits to carry, you don't know if they're using the guns for protection or crimes. So basically what he's saying is even if they have a permit, it doesn't mean that they're going to be legal.
Right. Some people could be getting the permit, could be a criminal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just because a person gets a permit doesn't make them righteous.
I get that.
As far as gun carrying are concerned. Do you feel better because a person has gotten a permit the way that most people say you should get it, to go to a class and get trained? Do you feel better with those type people carrying a gun rather than the people that didn't go to training or to the school of what you call hard knocks to have a gun?
Yeah.
These people out there that are going to school, I mean, they're, some of them commit crimes, but then you have the criminals, they don't even go to school at all to get a permit. There's somebody dropping those guns off to them, and who's dropping those guns off to those criminals and to those people in the black community, especially, is what I want to know. Do we have outsiders of other races that are handing guns off in the black community so that black people can destroy themselves? That's exactly what black people are doing. Destroying themselves. If you want to get rid of a race, especially the black race, just take the weapons to their community and just hand them off. And why? Because they know the black race right now is destroying themselves.
Now, I just found something out kind of to that point a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm still reading about this law. So check it out. Even though the permitless carry, you can carry without a permit.
Right.
Check it out. Now, they also are increasing certain laws penalties when it comes to guns as well. Check it out. So when you steal, the theft of a firearm is currently a misdemeanor. But once the law takes effect in July 1st, it will be a felony. From a misdemeanor to a felony, the theft of a firearm. So that's major.
Yeah.
And also, it's raising the jail time for a conviction from 30 days to 6 months.
Ooh. So if they commit a crime with the gun, even though they may have an opportunity to just get one and get it easy, but if you commit a crime with it,
you're going to pay.
You're going to pay a whole lot more of a price from what? 30 days to 6 months?
Yeah. So, and this in particular is if you steal a gun.
If you steal, yeah.
Yeah. So if you steal a gun, previously it was just a misdemeanor of 30 days. Now you can get up to 6 months.
Wow.
Starting July 1st.
And don't commit a crime with it. My goodness.
Yeah,
that's going to really throw you under the pen. Oh, boy.
Again, this could probably affect more black people than anything else.
Yeah.
So is this a good thing or not?
There's a lot more crime in the black community. Well, when I say black community, among black people.
Yeah. But some people feel like that's another excuse to arrest black folks. Or to send black people to jail for longer periods of time.
Oh, come on. No, that's a bunch of...
I'm just saying,
that's a bunch of spoiled baloney. I don't believe that.
You know, look at all angles.
So all black people are nutcases. I mean, they don't deserve to have the right to carry a gun.
Verdell says 6 months. Is that all?
Well, from 30 days.
Yeah, it was 30 days before.
30 days to now 6 months. To me, that's a big improvement.
In comparison,
absolutely. 30 days is too much to me. I mean, good God. I mean,
to stay in jail?
Yeah, oh God. I couldn't stay in one night. Oh gosh. One night was just, it was destroy me to stay in jail for one night. And then they're talking about 30 days being increased to 6 months? You'll be a nutcase when you come out.
It depends on who you are. Some people get in there and they,
Yeah, but
say, oh, this
yeah,
ain't
but
nothing.
who are you living with though?
Well, yeah, I mean,
like
I said, it ain't gonna be it's not gonna be a breeze.
It's not like you're living in an apartment.
Yeah.
You're living in a jail cell with, probably so many people in there that you packed in like sardines.
Mm-hmm.
And you have one toilet over in the corner. Do they still have those toilets in the cell now like they used to? Or do they get an opportunity to go out of their cell and go down the hall to a clean, fresh bathroom that, people clean up now? I mean,
first of all, I'm about to say, when you talk about a public restroom,
yeah,
you can't even get a clean bathroom in a restaurant or a gas station. So I doubt the jail would be out here cleaning the bathroom like a Chick-fil-A bathroom or something.
Yeah, I don't know. What? So I don't.
I try to avoid public restrooms.
Yeah, I do. I don't mess with them.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother topic for another whole day. Anyway, 901-213-6020. Other conversations, John. Other topics. What do you call it? Comments that we're getting here.
Let's see. Verdell says gun safety training should be required.
Okay.
In his opinion, Leon Mapstone says, I took a class on gun safety and was taught to use one. He said, I only use mine to protect myself, but I don't show it, but I still have access to it.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Leon also says that you're...
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Leon also says that you're preaching as well. So Robert Lee then comes out and said, Now, how about those with mental illness issues? How those with mental health issues get around the background check? It's online sales of weapons. Okay. So he's saying that people with mental issues, how they get around the background check is to buy guns online.
Well, yeah. How do they? I don't know.
No, I mean, he just said it. They buy them online.
They buy. Yeah, they can. They can. I mean, and that's true. That's true. So, what else we got?
Okay. Sabine Fenster says Shelby County Sheriff's Office is offering handgun safety classes. So I appreciate that information.
Well, that's another place you can go and get handgun training, even after you buy your weapon.
Even though it ain't required anymore.
It's not required, just that people can go and just get their training. I don't know if it costs anything for the sheriff department to train you. Some places may just be for free.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's free. At the sheriff's office.
So, just go there, sit down in the classroom, get the training and teaching and what they can show you, and then they probably put a gun in your hand and say, hey, fire it 2 or 3 times. Get the familiarization of shooting a gun. Carla says, amen, Bob. And they saying Black Lives Matter for what? When we killing each other, we have to listen what we're saying, and what's going on on around us. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Sabine also said, to your point, that she thinks Shelby County Sheriff's Office classes are free.
Oh, okay. See, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's free, then you have an opportunity to go somewhere where you don't have to pay. You can get free Shelby County classes. I got a voicemail here. There's somebody trying to call the show and you got a voicemail, let me know. Make sure my phone is working correctly. 901-213-6020.
Okay. All right. So I'm reading a little bit more here.
Yeah.
When it comes to that constitutional carry, because I'm curious myself, right? When it comes to this law, because this is a big deal. That's why a lot of people are freaking out. Matter of fact, it says here 59% of voters in the state of Tennessee are against this law, according to a poll, that is. Those polls can be, but that's saying that. Now, the law, and this is from the Tennessean newspaper out of Nashville, the law, which is already being challenged in federal court, by the way, takes effect July 1st, as we said, making Tennessee the 19th state in the country to waive the need for a permit to carry a gun. Here's a quote from Bill Lee. Constitutional carry is long overdue in our state, he said while speaking at the Beretta USA Firearms Manufacturing Facility. That's what I'm saying, man. This old John Wayne fool right here. Just I can tell he's a gun nut. You at a doggone Beretta factory. Come on now.
He's at a gun factory, so he you know, hey.
That's why he's
need
doing
to buy
this.
these guns.
That's why he's doing this. He's getting rid of the NRA, which you know is the National Rifle Association.
Yeah.
You know how much money they got. They got all these white Republicans in their pockets anyway, including Bill Lee. And they're like, hey, you want this money? Make it easier for folk to buy our guns.
Yeah.
Get rid of all these stupid permits. Who needs to know how to shoot? We don't care about that. As long as they buy the guns, we'll worry about the rest later. And that's basically, well, to me, what Bill Lee is saying.
Yeah.
While he's sitting here talking to the Beretta USA Firearms Manufacturing Facility.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, people are going to need to buy guns, and for the law to go into effect, July 1st?
Yeah.
You don't need a permit to carry a gun. You can wear it on your hip when you leave your front door in the morning. That's going to be a part of a lot of people's uniform.
Oh, now check it out. Here's another thing. Now, the law, and this is interesting, does not apply to long guns.
Yeah.
So long guns, like rifle, shotguns,
and all that.
Things of that nature.
Yeah, just put a little pistol on your hip.
But the gun rights activists say that's not good enough.
Well, you gonna walk down the street or in your car, you have a shotgun for it. I mean, that's not.
That's what they want.
You know, where they can shoot down the street at someone, and that's gonna be crazy.
According to the Firearms Policy Coalition, they said it needs to be more.
Yeah, no. To carry a pistol, I think, is enough for a person to carry. They want to protect themselves.
Everybody says it's all about the money.
Well, it could be. It could be about the money, but at the same time, don't you think people would feel good knowing that they can carry a gun?
I mean, it depends on who
I mean, you know, people, there are a lot of people right now that want to carry guns, but they don't go through the legal procedure or the way of getting the gun, but they're going to be able to carry it and to purchase a gun after July 1st, and people are waiting for that to happen. I guarantee you, people are waiting for that to happen so they can be able to get a gun and then be able to protect themselves, and they feel a lot safer in their homes. Do you think Frazier's going to be the same?
Frazier's going to be exactly the same.
Frazier, come on.
This gun law ain't going to do nothing for
Do you think this gun law being passed July the 1st, everybody can carry a gun without a permit? Do you think Frazier area, which is a high crime area, do you think Raleigh, which has become a high crime area, do you think they're going to be the same? Knowing that people carrying guns on their hips.
It's honestly, and they're not even, I don't know. I'm not even joking. To me, it's going to be exactly the same. This law ain't going to do nothing but get these folks, these crazy folks that are constantly trying to expand gun laws, get them more guns to load up for whatever reason. I guess they're trying to prepare for another civil war or something. But all I know is it's ridiculous. And look, here's another thing. One of the majority leaders in the Tennessee House, I'm reading this again, William Lambert, says this is just the beginning of expanding gun rights.
Bailey Parks Urethane, Inc. To accept, press 1.
All right, and let's take a pause here and take a phone call. Welcome to the show. Good morning on a Monday morning. Good morning, morning to you.
Okay, and when you hear Bailey Parks, that is Jet. So
good morning, brother Jet.
Yeah, I got a quick call in from that. Yeah,
it's all right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I was trying to wait to call in. I'm trying to wait till GKP get out the way, but it looked like he hiding out somewhere, so I just had to go. No, I just wanted to say I was waiting on more information on this. As Josh was going through the legalities and the reading of it, I was just waiting to hear something that might change my mind or whatever. Because I hadn't really been following this. I've been just listening to whatever they say in the news, what's going on. I've been digging into it, listening to it, because I got my opinion on it. And I feel like I know where it's coming from and where it's wanting to go. And Josh mentioned it right before he answered the phone. I think he's talking about another civil war or whatever. I don't know if that's necessarily the goal, but that's the end result of what they probably really are getting at, and that's a race war. I can send you videos of cops getting found in their car. I think one cop left his radio on, and this was in Charleston or somewhere in the Carolina, one of the Carolinas. Talking about, I'm sick of these MF talking about black people. I'm sick of them, but I can't wait till this race war just starts when I just start killing them and blah blah. This was a cop sitting in a car having a conversation with another cop.
Yeah,
wow.
I remember that. Wow.
Just sitting there having their what cops do, having their donuts and coffee and having casual conversation, and this is what the conversation was about. Two regular guys, guy with a family and all that. Now the cop got fired, sure enough, but he was on the force and felt comfortable enough to talk to this other cop about it. It wasn't a strange conversation for either of them. And he got fired. This was about at least a year after the recorded conversation that happened, and that's only because somebody who's cleaning out the evidence room found it and reported it. They were stashing away. This car was still on the force after somebody initially got this. He left the radio open.
Yeah,
he left the radio open for other people can hear it over the cops' radios. And so some other cop who gave a dang probably was looking for this, like, what they do to this ain't gone anywhere. Nobody said anything about this. This guy's still on the force, whatever. They stuffed it away. They just gonna tuck it away high until I think somebody exposed it. The media got a hold of it because somebody on the inside leaked it, you know. And so it took over a year. He got fired, and then no, I know what happened. A black police chief got hired. Somebody must have felt comfortable enough to tell him.
That'll do it.
He put it out there. Yeah, and he put it out there. That's what happened. Yeah. And so, you know, they fired him. But I'm like, the culture is, you know, you can read things. The police force has been inundated with white supremacists and things like that over the past so many years, and so it's full of people like that, and that's what they want. And these gun laws, when you think about it, who of us, when we always relate these things to criminals and killers and the worst things we see on the news, but who are the people? I mean, name three people that the cops have, three black people that the cops have killed that were unarmed. Just three. Just the first three that pop in your mind. Those three people, whoever they are not the guys who we say are going to this law is going to stop them from committing crimes.
Yeah, it's
they're
going to
not
stop
those
nothing.
guys.
Yeah,
they're not those guys, right? None of them that can pop in your head are not those guys. And the thing is, this carry permit law, who is going to hurt the most? Probably people like me, Bob, somebody regular, and not the criminal. Because the criminals, if they want to get the criminals, they already got guns. They already acting a fool on the expressway. They already doing the things that you know. So what's going to happen is, it's just like with legal marijuana. You're smoking it out. You can only have so much. You're smoking out in the open. It gives the cops a reason to harass you, to stop you. And if you're walking around with a gun, it gives the cops a reason to. And then if they stop you, they got a built-in reason to be afraid. They're already afraid without seeing a gun, right? And these things are not equal. And these things are not equal. They're just pointed towards us.
So Jeff, you hitting on something here now. So the police has been pulling over. We've been hearing about pulling over black men, black people, and then said they were afraid for their lives. Now, do you think this is leading to something more of that craziness that might happen, knowing that people now carrying guns and they could just say, "Hey, he pulled his gun on me." But
everybody has a gun now, so that's his built-in fear of the fear is legalized now. First, it was just a fear out of thin blue air. I just fear from. I stopped him. I caused the start. His blinker was on, didn't have a turn signal on, so I voluntarily stopped him. even though I was fearing for my life, right? Just because he's big and black or whatever, or just black, he's just big in my mind. But so I stopped him for a blinker, and when I stopped him, I feared for my life, and it turned into a murder. You got a gun.
Let me throw something at you, Jet.
Right. But he may not have a gun.
I got y'all, but let me throw this at you. Let me throw this at y'all to what you're saying, kind of even a bigger picture. Let's look at, and you're kind of hitting on this, Jet, but probably even where you're going or what you've already said. But think about this. What you're seeing, and not even just with the police, but let's just talk about society in general now. Because this is everybody. It's involving everybody. Which, maybe more black people, like as far as regular people, will get one if they felt like, maybe the test was a deterrent for whatever reason, right? But that also means a whole lot more white people getting it, which is who the real market is anyway. Because they're the ones.
And the retards and everybody, the backwoods who had babies with their sisters and living in the hills, they get to get guns now because you strip away all the requirements. Everybody get to have one.
And even more to that point. So you create a bigger problem because now to the fear for your life thing is expanded more than just the police. Now that you have a few more regular black people with guns and a lot more crazy white people with guns, what does that equal up to? You're going to have more incidents potentially.
Think about it, Josh. What you're saying is that, and I was headed toward that.
Yeah.
What you're doing is creating more George Zimmermans, right?
Yeah.
Except you're creating less doubt for Zimmerman now.
Exactly.
The only reason he had to go to trial, you see how the trial went. A lot of black people believe Trayvon may have assaulted him. Trayvon probably was the aggressor there. A lot of black people believe that without seeing it, right? So now you add in the thing that he could have either had a gun. Everybody get to have a gun now, or if Trayvon was 18, he would have had a gun because guess what? It's tougher because crime is real and we are black people. So not only do we have that threat from the Zimmermans, from the police, we do have that threat from black people, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost tough not to walk around with a gun now once everybody has a gun because I fear for white people wanting to prove a point towards me. You see what I'm saying? I never carried a gun. Even when I was in the hood and stuff, I never walked around carrying a gun. It wasn't until I was an adult and I saw what they could do to you and get away with it.
And think
all
about
they got to do is say, stand your ground. I fear for my life. I'm like, I'm going to start carrying my gun now.
That's true. And Jet, forgive me if I'm not saying the right name, but I think it was Ahmaud Arbery, right? Where he's just being chased by two rednecks, essentially. He's just running in his neighborhood and they got guns and shoot and kill him because they feel like they can. And so
now think how this story went. If Ahmaud had a gun and he had turned and shot them because he can have a gun now. It's okay to have a gun. Everybody he needs to have a gun. The story wouldn't have been as cut and dry. You see what I'm saying? So all they're doing is stripping away any humanity, stripping away any reasonable doubt that anyone has ever had in all these court cases and making it okay for them to fear for their life by saying everybody gets to have a gun. You thinking it's good for you because it ain't no racial law. They ain't saying black people can't have one. But guess what? When Josh spelled out those penalties for doing these crimes, who get the
short end of the stick.
because you have low economics, you have worse defense, right? So now you and your girlfriend on Beale Street, you get into this dude assaults your girlfriend, grabs on the booty, everybody got a gun, right? You takes it out, you shoot at him. It's not that cut and dry. So you get charged with something not self-defense.
Well,
you ain't got no attorney because you ain't got no money. You can't do it. So you take the plea. There your gun crime. They're your legal rights, and guess what? After your gun crime and your legal rights, you can't have a gun.
But you're gonna get a lot more jail time now too.
So you get a lot more jail time. So it ruins you, it ruins your finances, it ruins your life, ruins your family life. And then 10 years from now, you got a lot more black people who can't have guns, who are really law-abiding citizens, and all these white people because they're never being targeted.
Okay. Yeah, does that make places like Frazier worse now?
That makes Frazier. Does it make it worse? No, I think those guys gonna still they doing what they doing. It's gonna be
That's
what they're gonna be.
I really think it's
the only way it would make them worse if their interaction with white people starts happening more. But that ain't the plan.
But I mean, people in Frazier
push them on it. To jail.
Yeah, people in Frazier are already killing themselves. Black people, they're already killing themselves.
Exactly. So why add everybody else onto it and legal rights for police and everybody else? See, they ain't worried about them. the people who killing themselves in Fraser are the killers, but them ain't the ones the police killing. But when the police kill you, they're gonna lump you in with the people in Fraser you're talking about and saying, well, all these black people are killing each other, so it don't matter if the police kill them because they killed Bob Midget. He big and black. That's all. That's the criteria to get to be a Fraser, right? Big black dude with a gun.
Now,
You meet the criteria.
I have a clip here, y'all. I want you to hear this too, Jed, if you can on the phone there.
Okay.
And
if you can't, you can hear it offline. I mean off the phone. But you know, yeah, you know.
So do you want to wait till you get off the phone?
Well, yeah, if he can listen to that, he welcome to call back, Jed.
Yeah,
you know that. But you know, I mean, there's people like me gonna be like me, Jed. Even though they cannot carry it, they don't have a permit. They're gonna be glad to be able to have that opportunity, man. I think they're gonna be glad to have that opportunity to be able to, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be glad. It's always glad. It's always glad. That's to get you. That's how you get the trap. The mouse. You don't trap a mouse with stuff you don't like. When you go fishing, Bob, you don't use stuff you like to catch the fish. You use stuff the fish like.
Yeah.
You know, you like. I can tell you like barbecue, right? The fish don't want that, but you take nasty worms and give it to the fish because the fish love nasty worms. So when you're trapping something, they gonna like it, of course. But when that hook get in their mouth, then we'll see.
Oh man,
you know.
It's 10 years down the road when we're talking about this, how it looks.
You know, and it's so funny to me. I can't stress the hypocrisy. Well, it's not even hypocrisy. They're being who they are, to be honest. The blatantness of it. So Bill Lee has the nerve, the governor, Bill Lee of the state of Tennessee, to go to a Beretta factory and say, this is what we've needed all of. It's in Gatlin, Tennessee, a Beretta factory, by the way, that has all sorts of tax breaks.
But think about it, Josh. You saying this, and when I first saw that interview, I raised my eyebrows, and obviously you did because you're saying it.
Yeah.
But no major media, the news ain't talking about nobody.
I didn't know nothing about it.
Like to me, look at the campaign donors. Then that dude gave him a lot of money. That's all that's about.
That's all.
You could go from A to B. That quick, that quick just by that interview right there on his site. That was like TV show stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow. But yeah, that's how it's done.
And don't even start with the NRA. They're supporting all these folks. So
exactly.
It's ridiculous. And to sit there and act like, oh, this is going to help. It ain't helping nothing but gun sales.
And if you can look into, because I know the game, if you can look into their donor record, Gatling Gun probably gave him a little bit. But I bet you the employees of Gatling Gun, the people who work for Gatling, gave him millions in donations.
Oh man,
so Gatling don't look bad, right?
Yeah.
But then what Gatling does is give their employees millions of bonuses to donate to those campaigns, right?
Exactly.
So it don't look like I'm doing nothing criminal, right? But they let all that slide until it's me and you. But
hey, Jet, man, we appreciate
but I
it.
have to listen to this clip though.
Oh yeah, definitely. You ain't gonna miss. Yeah,
you need to listen to this.
Thanks,
thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it.
All right.
Okay. All right. 901-213-6020. Or you can leave, as a lot of you doing, the comments on Facebook and on what is it?
Twitter and YouTube
and Spreaker.
And Spreaker.
People are leaving comments on Spreaker and places like that. So we'll get your comments. Yeah.
And I'm gonna read another Spreaker comment too from Raymond in just a second, right after this clip.
Okay, take a listen to this, folks, and we'll be back.
And this is what I'm gonna play. This is who Bill Lee reminds me of when they talk about gun control. And everybody that constantly talks about gun control, they remind me of this right here. So y'all take a listen to this.
Okay, take a listen.
Good evening, everybody. This is Archie Bunker of 704 Houser Street, veteran of the big war, speaking on behalf of Guns for Everybody. Now, I want to talk about another thing that's on everybody's mind today, and that's your stick-ups and your skyjackings, which, if that was up to me, I could end the skyjackings tomorrow. You could? All you got to do is arm all your passengers. You know what the passengers are on? And then he ain't got no more superiority there. They just pass out the pistols at the beginning of the trip, and they pick them up again at the end. Case closed.
If some of those wonderful people had guns strapped right here, right to their waist or right to their ankle. And this son of a comes out and starts shooting. And one of the people in that room happened to have it and goes boom, boom. You know what? That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight, folks. That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight.
So what I'm saying is the interesting thing about history, especially when we come to the Archie Bunker clip in particular, these folks have used the same language for years. Same type of people, same type of attitudes, same type of mindset, same type of everything. And when you look at people like Governor Lee and other certain type of Republicans like that, right?
Yeah.
They create this paranoia in the people that vote for them, where you feel like they're trying to take something from you. And there's a fear built in a lot of white people. Like, why? Where is that coming from? That you feel like they're going to take guns from you? What is the fear that you need to load up the way that some do? Now, I'm not saying all, but some. It is interesting.
Well, yeah. 901-213-6020. If you called and couldn't get through
You can
while
get
we were
back
doing
in.
the clipping there, you can call us back again. And other comments, thank you for leaving your comments on the different areas here this morning. And Josh?
Yes, sir. Got some more here.
Yeah, read some more comments, what they're talking about.
Justin Wagner, Michigan, says, I totally agree with the guy on the phone now. And Justin's a white guy, by the way. He said, cops see you carrying a gun, they'll be afraid for their life, and they will have a reason to stop you and search you. Cops will always look for reasons to stop you, whether it's guns or marijuana. Let's see. And let's see.
Well, if they stop you, they can't stop you in Tennessee no more just to search for guns because it'll be illegal. You have a gun.
Yeah. True.
Leon says,
he's well, I got several here, but he says, what about where I work at Parkway Village? Well, I'm not sure. Now, I know. Matter of fact, let me go back. He had said something earlier about Parkway Village as well, which I'll see if I find in a second. But let me go to the Spreaker comment. Raymond says, gun safety should be part of high school graduation. That's interesting. I never heard that before. What do you think about that?
Part of gun safety should be a part of high school graduation?
Meaning that's something to a class in high school.
In some high schools, it probably is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Some schools are probably, I don't disagree with that. Excuse me. I think it would be a good idea to have a gun safety class in high school. Not if they can, have a range where people can shoot. But I think this should be a good thing for kids, even in the classroom. Excuse me, what tell you having a morning this morning? To be able to learn about guns and to be able to see videos and clippings and things that are educational on how to use a gun, and things of that nature. Class on that, I think would be outstanding for a high school to do that.
Yes, sir. And let's see. Jet puts a comment. He says, love that clip I played.
Yeah.
He says, sad that it could be today. LOL. As far as what Archie said. Yeah, literally Archie could have said that today instead of on Walter Cronkite. It could have been who's the guy now? Or the lady, Nora O'Donnell.
Yeah.
CBS News. It's a whole nother generation. I don't know how Archie would feel about a woman on CBS Evening News. That would be a whole nother episode in itself. Leon says, I work at Parkway Village. There are shootings there every night. He says, and I'm asking if it's safer or is it going to get worse?
Wow.
He's curious. These are good questions.
Well, this is something, it's a good question, and this is something Leon is concerned about. Is it going to be safer? Safer? What is he asking the question? Is it going to be safer for who? He's worried about it being safer for him. Yeah, he may be asking for safer for other people, but first of all, he's concerned about the safety of himself. And that's a good question to be concerned about. And by him having that concern, it'd be a good thing for him to carry a gun.
Which he does.
He does. So, hey, carry on, Leon. I think it's a great thing for you to be able to carry a gun. You know what to do with it. You know when to do and what not to do with it. And now you'll be able to carry it publicly and not to be ashamed of it. And hey, people know now that you have one, you carry one. But if that kind of crazy stuff is going on, man, you need that for protection. You just can't deny what exists. Well, it's going on in the neighborhood, but man, I don't want to carry a gun. I may hurt somebody. Well, there's somebody out there that's hurting other people, and they don't mind hurting you. So, if you have the right to be able to carry it and earned the right now to be able to carry it, then hey, it's just like you going through high school and now you've earned your graduation to be able to graduate, get your diploma. What are you going to do? No, that's okay. I just wanted to go to school. I don't want no certificate or anything. Just don't do that. I was just doing it for fun. No, you earned your degree. You earned your diploma or whatever. Now you want it to be able to have in your records. And so
you should.
Yeah.
Now, here's to that point, right? What Leon's talking about. I want to get to the other clip here when it comes to the community and gun violence here in Memphis and that whole angle. And we'll be right back.
Yeah, take a listen to this, folks, and take a look at it so you'll be able to watch it. We'll be back.
For the news at 5, I'm Janae Lewis. Now, you've probably noticed over the last few months, unity marches have taken over several streets in Memphis, like you see here. Organizers say the message is very simple. They are walking to remind others the fight to end gun violence. It's a marathon, not a sprint. WREG's Sharita Patterson gives us a look at the much-needed push for change.
Thanks for coming out for our 4th walk against gun violence.
Under the scorching sun, dozens gathering Saturday here in the heart of South Memphis along East Person Avenue with one mission: to save our children from becoming victimized by violence.
We have failed them, so we walk.
Instead of tears, sweat is trickling down many of the faces here in attendance. They are survivors, even victims of violence themselves, willing to battle it out in these hot temperatures in order to face head-on a hot topic.
Where's the outrage? I'm tired. I'm mad. I want to get upset.
In order for others to really understand the gravity of what's happening day in and day out concerning crime. This marks the 4th Unity Walk over the last 8 months, in which community members of all ages and from all backgrounds come together for a common cause, to refocus on what is important.
So we walk. We walk because our community suffers.
Still never giving in, Commissioner Reginald Milton says. The mastermind behind this community collaboration, Stevie Moore, founder of Freedom from Unnecessary Negatives, says he's not stopping. In fact, he says he's motivated now more than ever after seeing over the years a culture of celebration that needs adjusting.
I want to celebrate when my kids are born. I want to celebrate when my baby gets married. I want to celebrate when she graduates. I'm tired of celebrating death.
With bowed heads, there was prayer.
If you would just touch, oh God, and turn things around right now, we know that we can come to the end of this gun violence era.
Along with a reminder of the group's pledge.
Respect yourself and others, and protect your neighborhood.
From there, the participants were pounding the pavement to really drive home the purpose that there must be unity within the community. They walk to remind this community there is help, healing, as well as hope. City leaders say they have been able to combat COVID. However, crime continues to plague this community and many others.
The aggravated assaults and murders have gone up dramatically, and it's always been a problem. But we were making progress, and the pandemic has wiped that progress out.
Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland says a way to get back on solid footing means more must reach out.
If we want young people to grow up well, we need to hug them in and help them.
In an ongoing effort to find a solution to a growing problem. Reporting in South Memphis, Jarita Patterson, WREG News Channel.
All right, and there you have it on that. Well, listen, folks, do you think carrying signs and walking is going to stop the criminal? That criminal can care less about you walking and carrying signs. They don't care nothing about that. You carry signs all day long. Signs is not going to do nothing for a criminal. You know, it's not going to stop gun violence. Yeah,
I'm gonna throw this out there. That's for those of you just coming in. If you haven't done it, I know a lot of new people coming in on the video. If you haven't done it, go ahead and hit the like button right now. Hit like, and you can hit share as well. Mm-hmm. Like and share. Something I always emphasize on every video for people to join in on the conversation, help out what we're doing here on Talkback Live Network. If you enjoy what we bring you each and every time we go live. Mm-hmm. Now, real quick, Jim Strickland in that video.
Okay.
He's up there lying. And it is what he lied about. He said, and it's very slick. You might not have caught it because you were shocked that you saw his face, that you saw him alive, that he is still an active human. Yes, Jim Strickland is still active in this side of life. And he's out there. And you're not only shocked that you see him out there sweating with those glasses on, but the main thing I want to get to is he's lying, saying that we were making progress, and then the pandemic wiped it all out. And now we got to start all. I was making so much progress. Why? Stop lying.
So you saying that
it's just a lie?
The pandemic couldn't
the pandemic
stopped some things from happening.
It wiped out all the progress he made on crime.
Yeah.
You didn't make no progress. It got worse. The 300 homicides, progress. The homicides increasing every single year, progress.
Okay.
And still increasing heading into this year.
Well, that's probably why he was out there in the streets of Frazier with the community and trying to show his support.
South Memphis, that is out of town.
Where was
this
he?
Was South Memphis.
South Memphis, I'm sorry.
Frazier's North Memphis.
And South Memphis trying to show his support to help stop the violence. So people, people carrying signs and they walking and marching and all that kind of stuff. But that, folks, listen, that's not going to stop anything. People feel now, hey, give me my gun, man. Let me have my gun. It's July the 1st is coming. I want my gun.
I thought you said
we've been. Some people saying we want our guns.
I thought
we've been around for years with our and not tried to have guns in our home. And some people say and try to abide by the law and all this kind of stuff. But man, you gonna let me have a gun and not make things attacked and make it difficult for me to have a gun to protect myself. People saying, hey, July 1st can't come fast enough. I want my gun.
Okay, let me jump in for a second. I thought you were about to say July 4th is coming. Give me my gun. I'm like, that's a whole nother thing.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to the phone lines here.
From
Daniel,
welcome to the show. Good morning on a Monday.
What's up, Daniel, man? With the man.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? With the rolls. And
what's going on?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? How you doing? Y'all good?
Yeah, man. Good to hear
Everything
from
good,
you.
man. What's going on?
Well, see, that's beautiful. You see what I'm saying? Because that leads me to my point.
Okay.
Everything is good, it's beautiful, right? But we're talking about an element of our environment that we all live in, that we all share in this world that isn't, I'm assuming, feeling the same way you Tomb Kings are. So, in my view, it's almost like I can't say the solution finders of those.
Okay, go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't say that the like Stevie and all those guys marching and everything. I understand that might not necessarily be as impactful as other measures are, but it's something that we have to take and use as an asset, not try to demonize those that might not necessarily be effective with their approach. Because I can similarly say us taking this particular approach, just speaking about it and looking at everything that could be wrong with everything is also equally as dire to the circumstances. Because at this point, It can't be a we feeling good and then these habitual actions keep occurring and we're not finding any like of solution, any sort of way to break through. And that to me is the void of natural order. If you work hard at something, you will achieve the fruits of your labor. That's just natural order. There's no other place in life where that doesn't exist. So for us to continue to have this problem, it must mean that we're not doing things necessary to take advantage of what is in front of us to find the low-lying fruit to easily be able to accomplish everything that plagues us, from crime, violence to whatever might come of these gun laws, whatever. It's just, to me, it's the void of natural order, and it's really just us being a contributor to the residual aspect of the repetitive aspect of what we see occurring in regards to what we don't feel is feeling good and feeling how we you acknowledge you and Josh both feel and how I feel. So that to me, we're not I'm not going to call it a problem, but we're not taking advantage of what's in front of us to find a solution more easily, readily, without breaking a sweat. Because I think you have hundreds of years of people fighting these same issues. I think fighting for something peaceful is oxymoronic, and it doesn't give you the benefit of being able to reach that goal as well. But I know that's semantics. That's also why when you talk about Bill Strickland, Mayor Strickland, he's a politician. So if we can take his words and then twist it to where if he says something that wasn't what he meant, we'll take that and make a whole news article about it. I'm not concerned about what a politician says to make a soundbite in a soundbite culture. You know, that's soundbite culture. I don't really care about that. I care about, okay, what are we doing to implement the things so we can get some long-term goals, some short-term goals attained, and move beyond this current circumstance. Because as far as I look at it, it's like we're all a joke. Like everyone, well, not a joke. I don't want to say the joke, but we're not doing what we could do to fulfill the things necessary to make to reach our goals. We're not executing at optimized level. We're talking about it. We're identifying it very well, but we're not doing the things to truly get the change that we seek on all levels. And I can't sit up here and act like I'm not a part of it either, because I have ideas. I'm not implementing them. Therefore, I'm equally as at fault for what we see going on out here. And, you know, the gun laws and the people out here committing these heinous acts, we're all not doing the things necessary to get to where we want to be. And that, to me, is something we all need to, you know, put our faces out there, put ourselves out there to really expose what we aren't doing.
I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think that the gun law, July 1st, do you think it's a wrong idea, especially in certain communities?
I have no idea. Because my wife was carjacked. My wife was carjacked recently, and we had the discussion, like, if you would have had a gun based on the laws, you would have gone to jail because it was your life wasn't threatened. It was just a property kind of deal. No weapon was pulled on. They just took her car like they've been doing at all these gas stations. Right. Where in one circumstances, because I'm familiar with the area, I mean, it's one of the more affluent areas in Memphis. The young man from Booker T. Washington was killed. And you imagine what the gentleman, the doctor who pulled his gun. Now, you know how influence works. If you got money influence, or you work in certain circles, you get to people that make decisions. I'm assuming that doctor is probably in a background with him, coupled with the Mercedes-Benz, the owner, coupled with all these little crimes that we see spike, coupled with the fact some people just use media as their only source of determining what's right and wrong with the world. If you have the influences and you have the ear of people, they're going to pass laws to help make sure that doesn't happen again. Now, we get caught up in it. That we get caught up in it as the majority of the population of Memphis, African American, but we don't necessarily have the ear of the governor, or we're not at the golf club with the congressman or the people. That our circle doesn't consist of people that make decisions. So if someone is making the law pass based upon just, hey, this is a who you know world, I can't really say if it's good or bad. I know I don't carry guns. I don't use guns because I know what they end up probably doing. And I don't think God intends that. But God also gave whoever created the gun, that gift was given to that individual. And I got to look at anything that someone creates has to be something that is some form of a gift. Might not necessarily be used the right way, but the person created something. So now that whole world of people that, you know, use guns lawfully and they're not out here with that, they just like the creation. I can't just unilaterally say, nah, it's all wrong. So I don't know. I'm assuming that guns, period, are bad. But if I'm talking about crime in my community, and I agree that marching, I think we should have pivoted a long time ago in terms of dealing with black relations in this country. And it happened before a lot of us were born. It should have happened once we realized that, we're not dumb. We're not this group of incapable people. We're not these savages. No, we're actually the exact opposite of that. The leaders at that point should have realized that everything designed law-wise, the cultural norms, everything is designed to really keep us in this place, and it's a lie. So quit fighting a lie and embrace the truth. But we don't really embrace the truth. And the church is a big part that doesn't really embrace that truth. I'm not going to go there, but I just know that they are part of something that helps uplift a lot of this stuff. From the standpoint of the evangelicals not worshiping with black Christians and the divide we can see along religious lines when it comes to the things that fuel the reasons why people pass these laws and try to disenfranchise voters, a lot of that is occurring in the church. Yet we don't have the discussion about how we don't. What?
So you don't think the church is? You think the church is a problem with a lot of the violence that are going on because they're not doing enough to help the violence. You think they're not doing anything in that area at all?
Now they're not addressing where they. It's like you can be a positive source. Like you can teach me how to add. But when I'm trying to fix the bridge, I need to know more than 1 + 1 = 2. I'm trying to fix this bridge. So I need to know why the principles of adding, why the principles of spirituality, why the principles of religion are valid. But yet when you get to the nuance of it, how do you address the people that you're actually preaching to that are in the neighborhoods that are experiencing this violence? Or how do you deal with the fact that they're going to leave this place and go to work with someone that just worship the same God you worship, but looks at you as someone that doesn't deserve voting rights? Yeah, you need to have a different discussion to know how to navigate that in a world where people can make decisions that will impact you, such as passing gun laws or such as making sure that your area doesn't have the adequate resources it needs through the redlining and through various other aspects of reality that race has been a byproduct of, but it isn't the end all be all. And when we're dealing with these issues,
just to that point you made real quick, I think it's actually valid in some aspects. You know what I mean? Because I know it's actually something we've talked about in the past as far as the church not looking at the full degree of what needs to be addressed in these things, other than just like we were talking about with the walk, right? And that looks good. And I'm not saying these people had any bad intentions with the walk, because clearly you see with Stevie Moore's been doing these things for years and other community activists. They're trying to express their frustration in some way that is peaceful, but yet trying to be effective. And going back to things that of the past, going back to the MLKs and other things, are the go-to things to try to go to, but there is more that needs to be done. So I will agree to that extent, no doubt.
Okay.
And that's why I say the pivot. It's not like don't stop marching. Yeah, it is a marathon, but at some point you have to, turn it up a notch. It's why everyone can play basketball. It's only select few to make it to the NBA. It's only select few to become all-stars. And for the very, very best, they become Hall of Famers. And they're entrenched in history, but you have to put in another level of the same professional. You're all professionals. You just got to take it to another level in order to yield the results that we can all gauge and look at from a data standpoint and see if it's happening or not. And that's why the mayor said there was progress. And I'm assuming if you're where you are and you're not at the street level because you run a city, you've got a macro approach to all kind of issues that are at the forefront of what's priority. This particular issue, if you're investing in programs and you're doing things, you only look at it from the fact that, hey, we were here. I'm trying my best. Yeah, I might not be making a dent in it, but I'm not going to tell everyone that's working on this on my behalf, you not doing anything, because I got to worry about morale and I got to keep that group that's really focused on those efforts within his office focused, and let's just see this through. But you still have to deal with the reality of what you were saying, Josh. And, hey, okay, we all pros, but you just happen to be a 12th man on the bench, or you want to be one of the Hall of Famers. And so when you deal with that level of scrutiny, it causes us to get to where we get. That's where we get tense. Okay. We don't look at it as constructive criticism. We look at, forget you. Well, forget you then. And then now the fight starts and nothing gets accomplished. And then everybody goes into their vessels where, guess what? That fighting, that rage and passion, there's a place for it, because that's what gets people riled up to vote you in, or that will get people riled up to pass their law. That's what get people in that silo to where we're going to do it this way and leave you out here. And that to me has to be. You have to break that down and say, hey, you either can, we're gonna deal with because we don't even deal with the realities of why these folks are doing this crime. Yeah, you hug them, but guess what? Just like everyone loves when you're successful and you're making money, you get to go out. Like look at it from the family vacations. This is the best example I can give. You take a family vacation. Some people on family vacation, they looking at it like I got a strict budget. The kids want to go here and grab. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Then you got other families that go out on vacation. They don't care about anything. Get whatever you want. We're gonna kick it. We're gonna do all the big rides. We're gonna hit all the front of the line. So we skipping everything. Everybody loves that feeling of being able to stand up and then provide that experience. Because you're dealing with these youth, they're looking at an experience. I'm the baddest one. I got all going on. I'm on the ground. I got flash. I got plenty of experience of feeling empowered and emboldened is drive me to do things to make that happen because we don't deal with it. We just like with sex. You tell your child what happens. You don't tell your child what it's like when they stick and insert that inside of that womb and you feel that. We don't have that discussion because that's what you have to tell them to not do when it comes to making sure you protect yourself and not getting someone pregnant. The experience and the actual essence of what makes people drive to do these criminal acts and the popularity and all of that. When we talk about that, we might be able to reach into where now the market can take another component and use it to be able to get the
we got your point. Got your point. Hey man,
it's more to it than that, man. It's not just cause it's way more. But
I understand. I understand that, but we appreciate you calling, man, and what you said. It makes a lot of sense. Hey,
no problem.
Daniel, thanks for the call.
Always good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, likewise, King. Y'all take it
easy. All right, 9012136020. What do you think? Crime in the community, gun violence. July 1st, guns will be readily available for everyone.
21 and older.
21 and older. Do you think that's a good decision? Do you think that's smart? Gun violence in a city like Memphis. Well, is it fair? Yeah. Is it fair to say, I'll finish my comment after the call.
Call from.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Good morning. On a Monday. It's still morning, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, it ain't. It's in the afternoon. Good afternoon.
Okay. Okay. There it is. There it is. Right on the dot. Okay.
No problem. Yeah. And real quick, I'm just gonna say one thing because I intended to get to this earlier, but and then listening to Daniel, it reminded me. Stephen Moore Fund, all of these massive organizations that we got that's doing these things for our community to help our children, and things keep rolling on. Like Daniel said, not to say that those guys need to stop, right? I would never tell them that because it's needed in the condition that we have. It's needed. People need this. It's not just to see hope. But I think, and I'm going to say this, and then there's going to be some laughs, there's going to be some scoffs, and there's going to be some that can't work, but nobody still can't tell me why it won't work. I think all of those organizations, and even people like me and us and all that, we need to put a reparations agenda at the forefront of those things. Keep doing what you're doing. Now, what you will find is the money that you're getting from the state, the local, and the government might start drying up, or the little money you get, private dollars you're getting from these outside entities, it might dry up when you start preaching reparations, right? And that ain't about no hate. That ain't about no racism or what you feel about race or this race. That's about what's needed because of conditions that were created and to go forward. That's what they're about. They all need to add that to their agenda. They really do. They need to put it at the forefront. Keep doing what you're doing. March in the street like you're marching for whatever it is you say you're marching for, but put a reparations piece on top of your agenda. Because really, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that can combat the conditions that we have. And that's all I wanted to say to that. It will cut crime by, I think, 50% within 10, 15 years. But put a liberal number on it if you want to, or a conservative number on it if you want to. But it will put a huge dent in our inner city Black community crime issue. It would. You have some foods that will continue on for a minute, but that will drive because even if you meet a crackhead junkie in the street, if you talk to her and she has children, even that person wants good, safe schools and things like that for their children. They do. And these things, so even though she was continuing to be messed up, we were provided for our children to do better. Ice Cube, Ice-T, all of these rappers who preached this dangerous mess during the 80s and 90s about killing and drug dealing and stuff. Their children went to private schools. Their children went to college. Some of them didn't let their children listen to their music because we all want better for our children. We're in a condition that we feel like we can't change, but we want better for our children. Bring on the reparations. I'm telling you, that's the only thing that would prove effective. All the rest of this stuff is, the only reason you wouldn't do that is you still want to be the head of a suffering group and you want to lead a organization that's trying to do that. You want to feel like you're doing a good job in a bad community. But me, I'd rather eradicate these bad situations. Even if it means I'm not the head of my good organization anymore. But I'll leave that with that. All right.
All right. Hey,
Thank
Jet, again, appreciate the call, man. Thanks for the information.
Good stuff, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
Okay. All right. What do you think as we get ready to wind it up here? The carrying of a weapon on your hip, July 1st, it is legal. You can carry it anywhere you want to.
Without a permit.
Without a permit. You don't need a permit. You don't need to go to any school to get a permit, that type of thing. You just go buy your gun, put it on your hip, and they say protect yourself. Will there be more protecting of themselves, or some people say there'll be more crime because of it? Why are people afraid of other people carrying guns? Will a lot of people be buying guns and carrying guns that are not even thinking about violence or committing a crime or robbing anything? They just want it for protection now that they know they can get it and carry it with them. Do you think some people think that they feel, okay, this will better protect me from the people that are out there carrying guns from robbing me? And like, who was that? Daniel, his wife was carjacked a few days ago. Would it stop that foolishness? Would it stop that craziness? People even wanted to be bold enough to walk up to your car or to walk up to you and slam a gun in your face, knowing that you're carrying one on your hip. I don't think they're going to even think about doing that, knowing that you're carrying a gun on your hip. They're going to think twice before they walk up to you and want to put a gun in your face. Well, the reason they do that now is because they know a lot of people are not carrying the guns.
You know what, though? I actually disagree to a certain degree. Now, of course, if they come up to you and they see you have a gun, it's going to make a difference, right? Like, they're coming to rob you, pull out the gun on them. But guess what, though? On the flip side, all these robberies and stuff, crime, whatever you want to say, they're all being committed. You don't know if that person has a gun or not. The criminal doesn't care. That person can still have a gun legally right now. You're taking the chance on carjacking, just say carjacking, for instance. You're taking a chance on carjacking that person, whether or not they have a gun or not. You don't know if they have a legal gun or not.
No, they don't know, but they know that most people in our community are not carrying guns.
You don't really know that, though. And I mean,
well,
here's
the thing that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
After July the 1st, people are going to feel like most people are carrying guns. Now, they don't even think or feel like anybody's hardly carrying guns compared to what it's going to be like people carrying guns after July 1st.
Well,
because that law is in effect, it's going, just the law being into effect. And a lot of people may not be carrying them after July the 1st. But just because that law is in effect itself would be enough to make a difference, to make people think before they carjack, before they pull a gun on you, or before they do anything else crazy, because the law is out there saying that person that I want to carjack or that person that I want to rob, it's now they have the law on their side and they could be carrying a weapon.
Now, here's another point, and I think Jet...
That's going to be in the back of their head.
I got you. That's what I just said.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Now, Jet just said this. He said no carjackers are still going to carjack, in his opinion. He said it'll just cause them to use violence from the jump instead of waiting. And I think that's a dangerous thought, too.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If you're going to, like I said, it's just my opinion. If you're going to carjack somebody, you have already blocked out in your mind. You don't care if they have a gun or not. Now, with this law in effect, if they even watch
do you think just to finish,
I got your point. I got just to finish my thought.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, with this law in effect now, and again, if the carjacker is even watching the news to even know or care that this is even going on, let's say they did though, and they said, okay, this is now in the back of my mind that this driver probably has a gun. According to Jet, that means the carjacker is more likely to use violence instead of whatever other tactic he may use.
Right.
He may just come guns blazing now. I'm going to just either shoot at them or shoot them, period, and drag them out and take this car.
Yeah. Well.
So, and that's why, at least in my opinion, I don't really feel like this law is going to help anything. I don't know how much it'll hurt either. But I think it definitely isn't helping anything.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Okay. All right. So we're giving more credit to the thieves out there and carjackers that we have to be careful and walking on eggshells because we don't want to be carrying no guns because we going to make the carjackers and criminals more angry with us. So I don't want to be carrying a gun and have the right to carry a gun because we going to make them more angry.
No, look, my point is you got the right to carry a gun now before the law was even put into place. Now you can just grab one from Walmart and not even have to worry about a permit. What I'm saying is somebody put a laughing face. But what I'm saying is it don't matter. If you're carjacking somebody, you ain't thinking about it. Clearly, you have blocked out the fact that you don't care if they have a gun or not. All this does now is potentially make the carjacker
well, now that they
shoot you off the bat.
Now that they know that most people will probably have guns, it's going to be back in their mind now that they know.
It could be.
That the law is on their side. I got to be more careful now because I know something. And that is that more people could be carrying guns and I could walk into a trap on myself. So, but at any rate, we are out of time. I was going to give one more person to make a phone call if you wanted to call in and give your comment on the gun control. Happy Juneteenth, Jet. Yeah, thank you. And what do you think of gun control?
And
to carry a weapon
real quick
on your hip, everybody's being able to carry it without a permit. What do you think? You think that's bad, or you think that's good? Yeah.
Now, real quick, Juneteenth is a big deal. National Independence Day for Black folks in this country. Now, this is Juneteenth week. That is because Juneteenth is actually the 19th.
Yeah.
On Saturday. Okay. So definitely check that out. Is an actual holiday. I know some people were talking about in the past. It's known as Freedom Day, which commemorates the abolishment. I don't know why it's always so hard to say that word. The abolishment of slavery on June 19th, 1865.
And we'll probably be looking to get someone on the show. And Jet, if you know anybody that's associated with that, if anybody know anybody associated with that, send it to us.
What I can talk about.
Yeah, and we could probably get somebody on the show to talk about this coming up. We'd be glad to do so. All right, Josh, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks, folks, for all your phone calls, your messages. We didn't really chance to read all your messages, but we appreciate you commenting as well and listening on all formats where we are. And it's been a pleasure to have you with us today. All right, Josh, that's going to do it. Let's get out of here. And you know the song where, hey, there's gospel music, hip-hop, whatever, in all kinds of communities, whether it's in the hip-hop community, whether it's in the certain South Memphis, North Memphis, East Memphis, whatever. It's all in the streets, and you can ride with your top down, and you can listen to your Jesus music. Y'all have a wonderful day today, and we'll talk to you next time on Talkback Live with Bob and Josh.
Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus music.
Back on the grind again. I know it's been a little while, but it's time again. Folks asking Craig, when you gon' rhyme again? I'm like, hold up, give me time, my man. See a lot of things change, some stay the same. Went from H-Town to D-Town to Memphis, man. One thing is for sure, everywhere I go, people caught up in themselves, money, cars, and closure. They talk about it all the time and put it in their songs. They drive around and play it loud like it ain't nothing wrong. And now they talk about it, simple stuff. Got everybody acting bad, thinking that they a thug. And they trying to drown me out, but now they ain't gon' count me out. I got a backpack full of tracks, plus I keep a Johnny Mac so we can pound it out. Plus I'm bumping these Jesus beats whenever they seeing me. People looking all confused cause every one of my tunes is screaming Jesus beats. I was bumping that Trip Lee, BJ rolling with me. Both our heads nodding like we dozing or we tipsy. But we ain't been drinking, man. Now this song's just banging, man. Got us screaming Jesus out the window while we changing lanes, while we just
riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus music. Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus. Riding with my top down, top down. Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus music.
If you hear that bass bang, and you see us in your streets, that stuff your boys playing, man. It's gonna be them Jesus beats. That stuff we bumping ain't that lean with it, rock with it. Nope, it's that change your life and please let the rock hit. All the stuff that we bump for the Santa Craze. 116, I pray the craze. Once lost that fan, but we damn it crazy. Then the thoughts all stuff, what we fanning like. Never Santa rate, suicide to the good in a fan who like, cause the gospel is good. In the past, I don't think y'all understood. Now y'all done messed up, let us out in your hood.
Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus music. Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus. Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus. Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus music.
You like music from rap to gospel, but you probably never heard nobody rap the gospel. Different sound, but the truth's the same. With no choirs, no bands, but the truth remains. We got fam in the clicks at the boost the flame. St. Louis at the city like Deuce of Flame. If you lost in the flow, don't lose the name. Jesus Christ, the King of the Jews, my man. This ain't entertainment, dog, time the truth. But you rather hear a song about shiny coops? Nope, not fat, not gat, not killer rap. 100% Christ, the blood spiller rap. Y'all feeling that? Rap raptor with the gospel truth. Hey, trip, y'all really back. Y'all feeling that? Rap raptor with the gospel truth. Hey, trip, y'all really back.
Car, you hear that boom bap, and you hear some dudes rap. It ain't them folks that boast, it's folks that tell you where the truth set. We don't wanna hear bad dimes and dope. We don't wanna hear bad knives and smoke. We don't wanna hear bad moving packs and foolish cats who lying boast. We do wanna hear bad Christ came. Do wanna hear how lives have changed. We do wanna hear how God is pleased. And theology at the Bible, man. It's Jesus music, turn heads. So turn it up and let them know. And now we do, he's first and it's Jesus music, better bro.
Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus music. Riding with my top down, listening to this Jesus. Riding with my top down, top down.